Hi everybody, this is a review of the Math 111 Section 61 Finite Math syllabus for the summer 2021 session. My name is Carrie and this is my email address. That's going to be your primary way to get a hold of me throughout the semester. My office hours will be virtual via Zoom this summer, and my scheduled hours will be every Monday from 9 to 11 a.m. I will be available during these times to promptly answer your emails or to meet with you in my Zoom room, but other times are available upon request. So if these times do not work for you, it's not that you do not have access to me. You will just want to set something up specifically with me at an alternate time. These are just times that you're guaranteed. If you log into my Zoom, I will be there. And so here is my Zoom link, or you can just open Zoom and use my IDs. This is a fully online course. It is asynchronous. The only times that we will actually meet in a synchronous fashion is when we take our midterm and when we take our final. Everything else will be done at your own time within the confines of the due dates set for the course. We'll skip a little bit of the placement information. Instruction in our course is based on a TI 83 or 84 calculator. That is what all of my videos, my instructional videos will use. That is what I will provide detailed directions on how to use. So if you have any other type of graphing calculator that you're using and you will want a graphing calculator of some sort, basically you are just on your own to figure out and to learn the commands. As long as you have this type, I will provide instruction on the exact commands to do everything that you need to do. As far as the course materials, what we're going to be using is Newton Alta's online program, and you can purchase this from Newton once you sign into our course. So at this time, my advice is to just wait until the Canvas course opens, which it will open a few days prior to the start of the semester. Once you get into Canvas, all you have to do is click on any homework link in there and it will take you directly to my specific Newton Alta course for this class, and it will allow you to buy your access right then and there. So that's the textbook and course materials. There is no paper textbook. All of the materials you need are included for you in Canvas and in Newton. You do need a graphing calculator. Again, a TI 83 or 84 is what I strongly recommend. You'll need some kind of computer or other device to be sure you can access the course, reliable internet access, a webcam or a smartphone for web conferencing. Basically, for Zooming with me, you will need obviously some way to do that. I will be proctoring 2 tests via Zoom, and also that's how you'll get my office hours. You also need the ability to scan and send your written work. So sending in your written work is required in this course. So any app will do. Cam Scanner is an example one, but any app that you can take photos of your written work that I provide you scratch paper. You will take pictures of that, turn it into a PDF, and submit that. I really need it to be turned in as a PDF because those are the documents that allow me to write and leave you comments. Other types of documents don't necessarily allow me to do that. And then optional, I've got a 3-ring binder. I provide note sheets, and you will probably want to be printing those out and following along with my video lessons. And it can just get to be a lot of paper. So binder is an optional item that you may wish to get, but obviously that's not required. Okay, these are all the learning outcomes that we will cover in the course, and those are detailed on the various pages in the course, so I'm going to sort of skip through those. What you are probably most interested in at this point is my grading scale. So I use the standard 90, 80, 70, 60 scale. As far as how that will be determined, homework in this course is 15% of your grade. Quizzes are 15. We have 2 unproctored module exams that are worth 15% each, or a total of 30% combined. We have a proctored midterm module exam That's worth more. That's worth 20% because it's a midterm and because it's proctored. And then we also have our comprehensive final exam at the end, which is also proctored and worth 20%. So you can see that the proctored exams, the two proctored exams, are worth more than the non-proctored exams. As far as work and deadlines, you will have homework every week. They always open on Saturdays at 12 in the morning. And then there are staggered due dates. So some assignments will be due on Wednesdays at basically midnight. And then other assignments are due on Sunday at midnight. So you have like a midweek due date and then the end of the week due date. You have to submit your homework by the due date to receive full credit. But once the deadline has passed, you can still submit late homework assignments at a 10% penalty all the way through the end of the course. So I always encourage you to get your work done by the due date so that you stay on top of everything and also so that you earn maximum credit. But if something does happen and you do have to turn something in late, it's still more than worth turning in. You can always work ahead too. Don't forget that. If you get finished with those Wednesday assignments early, that's a typo, early, then definitely keep moving on to those Sunday assignments. Summer moves so fast and you can find yourself behind very easily. So I would always encourage you to move along faster rather than slower. Get the Wednesday stuff done and then get started on that Sunday stuff right away. There will also be quizzes that open on those Saturday mornings at 12 a.m. and those are always due not on a Wednesday but on the following Sunday. So they're open for the whole week because they cover the whole week's worth of material. Any non-exam week will end with a quiz. So because, again, summer goes by so quickly, we will be having exams pretty much every other week. Those off weeks are when you will have your quizzes as kind of a mid-chapter, mid-module check-in. You have to submit those quizzes by the due date to receive credit, but those you get a 0 at the end of the week if they're not completed, and those you cannot turn in late. There's no late deduction penalty option for quizzes. You will get 3 attempts at every quiz and only your highest score will count toward your final grade. So I would encourage you always get 1 attempt in. Even if you're not quite feeling ready for it, get an attempt taken because any score is better than a 0 score. And then as that due date approaches on Sunday night, you can have 2 other attempts to try to improve on that score. Exams. As far as exams, you may not use any personal notes on the exams, have another person help you during the exam, or use any technology other than the approved items. So approved, you can obviously use any basic scientific or graphing calculator of your choosing. You should be using your graphing calculator. But you can also use another calculator along with that. Like I usually use my graphing calculator for certain things and then a scientific calculator for other things. So that would be fine. Formula sheets that I will provide to you and scratch papers that I will provide to you. Some exams are proctored to manage our academic integrity. So you can see exam 1 and exam 3 are not proctored, but the midterm and the final are. Whenever you have a proctored exam, the main choice is to take it online proctored via Zoom with me in a synchronous fashion. There's a secondary choice, which is if that is absolutely not possible in any way, shape, or form, you cannot make it work despite trying your absolute best, then there's the option of videoing yourself. This is a bit of a tricky option. Students have trouble getting those videos to upload, and it can be a sticky situation if you can't get that uploaded because it can ultimately result in a 0 on the exam if you can't get it figured out. So if you think that this is something that you may need to use, you and I have to talk about that in detail and really make sure that you are good to go before I will allow you to do that choice. Other exams policies, we're going to have 4 exams as shown here, and I will try to give them, I have a schedule and we should stick with that unless something happens. So you'll know exactly when all those are open and when they're due and when the Zoom sessions will be. They are due by their deadlines. Again, proctored exams need to be taken during those Zoom proctoring sessions, and please look ahead and try to work that out in your schedule now. It's only 2 times during the summer that I ask for you to make a certain specific time. So I want you to try to work that into your schedule if you can. Basically, the best way to prepare for these exams is to complete all your other assignments on time, to review your quizzes, and to use the Newton Review Center that's provided for you. When you take any exam, you will send your written work to me immediately as a scanned PDF document. Again, unproctored Module 1 and 3 are still timed for 2 hours. I will send out a required password when the time approaches. No extensions, no notes or outside help allowed, and further details in Canvas. Now here are the proctored midterm and final exams. I will give the passwords during the proctored Zoom session. Those are also 2 hours long. And you can see that for each one of these, I've given 3 time frames, 3 dates. So look ahead. I've given an evening time frame for those of you who may work during the day, a morning time frame, and a mid-afternoon time frame. For both of those, and they mimic each other. There's the evening Sunday hour and then the 2 different time frames on a Monday. So they're very similar, mimics of each other. So look at those dates and start planning for that right now. When you're testing, you will need both your laptop or desktop to take your test on, as well as a phone or a tablet to act as your camera. So you need 2 devices when you're testing. When you're testing, you want to make sure that I can see you, what's on your computer screen, your calculator, your papers, everything like this. So there's a few different versions. That's something that you're going to practice with me before we actually have one of these Zoom sessions. But that, again, something that you can start right now thinking about: where could I take my exam? Where could I set my phone so that it gives a good view? Where can I go where it will be quiet? Start thinking about those things now. If you do get caught in some sort of an academic dishonesty issue, please understand that could lead to a failing grade in the course, and an extreme case could lead to expulsion from the college. Okay, and that could possibly affect financial aid and all different kinds of things. So it's not a good thing to get caught in. Just do not get yourself in a situation like that. You're expected to attend all classes and meaningfully participate each day. So what that looks like in online courses is you could be withdrawn all the way up to July 12th, which is the last day to be withdrawn in the course if you accumulate more than 2 unexcused absence. How are the absences counted in this class? Basically, each week is worth 2. So if you get 2 absences, it's like you were gone for a whole week out of the 8 weeks of the summer course. Your first point comes from completing your Wednesday due dates on time. You have to have at least more than half of those completed by the due date. And the second point comes from having your Sunday assignments due, more than half of them by the due date. Okay. If you don't log in and you don't do some work by at least June 7th, then you will just automatically be dropped and receive a full refund from the course, because that will be like you did not even, you gave no indication that you were going to actually log in and start working in the course. Here are a few important dates just summarized. We do have Memorial Day. We've got, I actually think we may have a day off for 4th of July as well that I need to put in here, I think on the 5th. But again, since this is all online, that doesn't really affect us too much. Things just keep rolling. And then I've included a week-to-week course calendar, so you want to look at that. It details what's due on Wednesday and what's due on Sunday every week so that you can follow that along. This might be a page you want to print off and stick at your workstation. All of that is in Canvas as well. Canvas will remind you what's due that week, but if you're more kind of a tactile, I like to print things off and mark things off as I go, so something like this could be helpful for you. And then at the very end, these are just course policies that I have to include. A reminder that because we're relying heavily on technology, you need to have backup plans for if your computer were to break. You know where there's an alternate computer that you can use. Zoom sessions could be